At a train station in a small American town, there lived a homeless man. Every day he survived by asking passengers for spare change as they got on and off the trains. One afternoon, while doing the same, he noticed a tall man in a sharp suit stepping off the train. The man looked rich, successful. The homeless man thought, if I ask him, maybe he'll give me more than a few coins. He walked up to the tall man and held out his hand. But the suited man looked at him and asked, "You always ask people for something. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The homeless man was confused. "Sir, I live off whatever people give me. I don't have anything to offer in return." The tall man smiled slightly and said, "Then you have no right to ask either. I'm a businessman. I believe in give and take. If you have something to give, I'll give something back. But if you don't, I'm sorry." And just like that, he walked away and boarded the train. The homeless man stood there, stunned, but the man's words echoed in his heart. "Maybe the reason I barely get anything is because I never give anything back." He sat for hours thinking, "But I'm homeless. What could I possibly give?" 2 whole days passed, he barely ate, still thinking. And then, on the 3rd day, something caught his eye, wildflowers blooming near the fence beside the station. A small idea sparked in his mind. What if I give people a flower in return for whatever they give me? He smiled for the first time in days. That morning, he picked a handful of flowers and walked up to passengers. Every time someone gave him a coin or a dollar, he handed them a flower. And something amazing happened. People smiled, some laughed, some even said, "You made my day." They didn't just give, they felt they were part of something. Soon, more people started giving him money. Why? Because he was no longer just asking. He was trading, giving something back. Each day he picked flowers and gave them out. And the more he gave, the more people gave in return. Then one day, while walking along the platform, he saw that same tall man in the suit again, stepping off the train. He ran up to him, holding a few fresh flowers. "Sir," he said, "last time you said you'd only give if I had something to offer. Today I have these. Would you trade a few dollars for these flowers?" The man smiled. "Now that's how it's done." He handed him some cash, took the flowers, and said, "Look at you. You're a businessman now." That moment hit the homeless man like lightning. "I'm a businessman." He looked up at the sky, eyes shining, and said out loud, "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman. I can be rich too." People around him thought he'd gone crazy, but he wasn't. He had just discovered his power. The next day, he disappeared from the station. 6 months later, at the very same station, 2 well-dressed men in suits were traveling for work. One looked at the other and said, "Do I know you from somewhere?" The second replied, "I don't think so. This is our first meeting." The first man smiled. "Not really. This is actually the 3rd time we're meeting." "3rd time? I'm confused. I was the homeless man you once refused to help. And then you gave me money in exchange for flowers." The second man's eyes widened. "Wait, that was you?" The man smiled again, proudly. "Yes. And today I own one of the biggest flower distribution businesses in the state. I'm heading to another city for a meeting with a retailer." He paused and continued, "Sir, you once taught me something powerful. In life, you only receive when you give. It changed everything for me." He went on, "I used to think I had nothing to offer. But once I started giving, even something as simple as a flower, people responded. I realized people weren't giving me money out of pity. They were buying from me. I wasn't begging. I was in business. And that changed how I saw myself." He concluded, "I took the money I earned and bought more flowers. Slowly, I scaled it into a business. People love flowers. And that love made me who I am today." The 2 men shook hands and stepped off the train together, talking like old friends. The moral of the story? Success isn't about what you have. It's about how you think. If you believe you have nothing to offer, you'll stay stuck. But the moment you realize even the smallest gift has value, you unlock your potential. Whether you're rich or poor, what you give shapes what you get. The world doesn't reward need, it rewards value. So shift your mindset, raise your self-worth, and watch how life transforms.